Fans are boiling over with rage. And honestly, can you blame them? The WNBA just assigned the exact same referee crew that turned the Lynx Mercury game into an unwatchable disaster to oversee the Indiana Fever vs Las Vegas Aces semifinals. That crew, Isaac Barnett, Randy Richardson, and Janae, has already become infamous this season for reckless officiating, inconsistent calls, and outright negligence that left players limping and coaches suspended. And now, the league has decided they are playoff-worthy? It feels less like a mistake and more like malpractice. Let's rewind for a moment. The firestorm began in the Lynx-Mercury matchup when Alyssa Thomas made what looked like a clean steal from Nafisa Collier in the closing minutes. At first glance, all ball. But the replay told a different story. Thomas cut across Collier's body, threw her completely off balance, and in full motion, Collier went crashing. No whistle. No protection. Nothing. The refs let it go, and that one moment sealed the Lynx's fate. Minnesota had fought hard, winning rebounds, getting to the line, but in the end, the referees swallowed their whistles, and Phoenix walked away with the game. That single sequence set off a storm. Cheryl Reeve, Minnesota's head coach and one of the most respected figures in the sport, lost her mind, and for good reason. She watched her star get hacked repeatedly with zero calls. Collier left limping, clearly in pain. The officiating crew just shrugged it off. And when Reeve had the audacity to demand accountability, she wasn't met with reason, but with punishment. Suspended. Fined. Her assistants fined too. Instead of correcting bad refereeing, the league doubled down and punished the truth-tellers. And now? Those very same referees are walking onto the court for Caitlin Clark's biggest playoff test yet. Think about that. This is the matchup everyone has been waiting for, Clark and the Fever against AJA Wilson and the defending champion Aces. A dream scenario for the league. Ratings gold. Packed arenas. A new era of stars colliding. And the WNBA hands it to a crew that fans already despise. If you were trying to kill momentum, if you were trying to spark conspiracy theories about favoritism and corruption, this is exactly how you do it. Because let's be honest, this isn't paranoia. The Aces are the league's golden child. They are based in Vegas, the entertainment capital, with big money ownership and MVPs galore. The league loves them. They want them in the finals. And when fans see the exact same refs who suspended Reeve and ignored Collier's injuries suddenly assigned to an Aces matchup, it doesn't look like coincidence. It looks like favoritism. It looks like the league stacking the deck against Indiana. The Fever, meanwhile, have been nothing short of miraculous this season. Even with Clark missing time to injury, they clawed their way into the postseason. Every game she played brought massive ratings. Arenas sold out coast to coast. Aaliyah Boston, Kelsey Mitchell, and Lexi Hull stepped up in ways that made Indiana one of the most compelling stories in basketball. They carried the league's growth on their backs. So how does the WNBA repay them? By sending them into battle against not only the Aces, but also a referee crew that fans already view as biased and incompetent. This isn't just bad optics. It's dangerous. Caitlin Clark has been roughed up all year. Opponents shove her, elbow her, trip her, and the whistles rarely come. Fans have seen it. Opposing players practically play football with her, and she's told to play through it. Meanwhile, the league's other stars get protected. Breanna Stewart gets her calls. AJA Wilson gets her whistles. But Clark? She's the one selling out arenas, and yet she's the one refs let get hacked. That's not just inconsistent. It's reckless. Now place her on the biggest stage with the most physical team in the league, the Las Vegas Aces, and refs who are notorious for letting them play. You don't have to be a conspiracy theorist to connect the dots. Fans are already preparing for disaster. They are not asking for Clark to be protected like glass. They are asking for fairness. For consistency. For the same calls on both ends. But the second this crew was announced, the narrative shifted. Nobody's talking about Boston versus Wilson in the paint. Nobody's talking about Mitchell's speed against Jackie Young. Nobody's talking about Clark's logo threes. Instead, everyone's asking, will the refs ruin this series too? And that's the ultimate tragedy. A semifinal with this much talent should be remembered for battles on the floor, not the crew holding the whistle. Yet here we are, with fans screaming rigged under every league post, calling it corruption, questioning whether the WNBA even wants Clark to succeed. That's how bad it's gotten. The officiating has become the story, overshadowing the very players who should be shining brightest. It's not just fans, either. Rival coaches like Becky Hammon have warned the league about this exact problem. When you let games get too physical, players get hurt, tempers flare, fights break out. Instead of listening, the league doubled down on chaos. That's why people are calling for leadership changes. Because growth doesn't come from ignoring your audience. Growth doesn't come from sabotaging your own stars. Growth comes from fairness, accountability, and competition decided by talent, not whistles. Right now, the WNBA isn't offering that. It's offering incompetence dressed as authority, and incompetence on this level feels a lot like corruption. Fans aren't stupid. They can see who gets calls and who doesn't. They know when a league is tilting the scales. And once they lose faith, once they believe the games are rigged, you don't just lose their trust, you lose their viewership, their money, their passion. The Fever versus Aces should have been a celebration, a new chapter for the league. Instead, it's become a trial of credibility. Every whistle, every non-call, every technical is now under a microscope. The league created this mess, and fans are demanding answers. If Indiana loses because of questionable officiating, the backlash will be nuclear. If Clark gets hacked with no protection, the outrage will explode. And if the Aces advance under a cloud of referee favoritism, the league's credibility might not recover. This isn't just a bad call. This is a betrayal. A betrayal of players who fought their way into the spotlight. A betrayal of fans who invest their time, money, and passion. A betrayal of the very idea of fair competition. The WNBA wanted growth, but instead of embracing its new era, it's choking it with the same old problems. And until they fix it, every game will feel tainted, every star will feel vulnerable, and every fan will wonder if they are watching basketball, or manipulation disguised as sport. Do you think the WNBA deliberately stacked the deck against the Fever, or is this just pure incompetence? And more importantly, will you still trust the league if these refs ruin another playoff series? Let me know what you think in the comments below.